Yo, what is good, y'all? Streaming on a Monday, and it is hot as hell in California and humid as it wants to be. Gotta love it. So, start the party with some solid JJ like we used to do.
This could be an undiscovered Pokemon.
Well, I've never seen a fossil quite like the one you found, Red. You might have discovered what could be a brand new Pokemon.
Really?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Wow, it really is a brand new Pokemon.
It seems you made quite the discovery,
Oh,
Red.
what's its name? What do we call it?
Well, let's listen closely, because I believe we're about to find out.
Oh, God, no. Is that really its name?
I don't know. This is unprecedented.
Did we discover a racist Pokemon?
No, it's been fossilized for thousands of years. It couldn't have heard the word before. That just has to be its name.
Oh, my God. What do we do now?
I don't know. This is a very unprecedented circumstance.
Can we just release it back into the wild and pretend we had no part in this?
I mean, it's going to come back to us eventually. There's no getting behind that.
Stop saying that!
Listen, well, this is our problem now. We brought this thing back to life. Nobody else.
Well, hey, that's a good point. You know, no one knows this thing exists right now, right? So.
What are you getting
Well, I
at?
mean, if to the rest of the world this thing's already dead.
You want to euthanize it?
I'm just laying out options.
We just brought it back and you want to kill it?
Well, clearly they had a reason to drive it to extinction.
No, man, we're not going to kill it. Besides, it stands to reason that his existence predates the way that we use the word today. It might actually lead back to him. It might have had a completely different meaning than it does now. Man, that's a discovery in
Is
itself.
that what you want to be? That it's just a word professor?
No, I'm just saying, you know, maybe we're looking at this all wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, look at it. It's very cute and marketable.
Marketable?
Yeah, this could still be a very profitable
Yeah,
discovery.
market
How would
that.
that work?
I mean, if you get past the name thing, you sell us a plushie, you go
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
if you get past the name thing. I mean, how would you even buy one?
Well, at the store.
Yeah, but you go to the store and you're not asking for Pikachu, you're asking for what? Like, how do you describe what you want to buy?
You know, maybe we're mishearing him. Yeah, you know, maybe it's like an auditory illusion thing, like it's a brainstorm green needle. Maybe it just depends how you hear it. Maybe,
Professor,
yes, Red.
he's saying it.
I know.
I just don't know. Is it morally right to let this thing exist, or is it morally right never to tell anyone about it?
Well, there is one more option.
Which is?
Let us undo it.
That was an option the whole time?
Well, yeah.
Why didn't you lead with that?
Well, it's experimental. I don't know what's gonna
What do
happen.
you mean you don't know? You built the
Have
thing.
you seen my laboratory? There are gizmos and buttons fucking everywhere. I haven't pressed all of them. I don't know what they do.
Well, what could it do?
Well, theoretically, turn it back into a fossil, but I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I've never done
Oh,
it.
that sounds kind of horrible. Maybe we shouldn't do
I'm
that.
sorry, you said you wanted to euthanize him a second
Yeah,
ago.
humanely. I didn't want to Han Solo the
All
guy.
right, fine. We could just go over our options and.
Okay, that was a completely
Freeze it in
different...
All right, I'm doing
carbonite.
it.
Professor, wait!
Yeah, I think it works.
That's worse than carbonite.
Fire
Yeah,
time.
that works.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's...
I don't know this one. It could really be any of them. I don't know.
What a silly endeavor. Anyway.
This episode sponsored by Ground News. Now, if you don't know what a beetle is, it's basically an insect that, well, they can be a bit much, all right? Like, look at Pepper here, walking all distracted like she's trying to
I can
remember
see
the
some
grocery
Pokemon
list she
being
forgot back at the
problematic.
house. Come on, you see it. But
Yeah,
look
we
at
had
what
the
she's
Jinx problem
wearing.
a while
It's like
back.
10 a.m. and she's out in a fancy house coat like that. And then this, zip, pulls a friggin' Buzz Lightyear. And that's with a lot of them, too. You know, can't just fly, has to be a whole production. Like those Transformer movies. But anyways, that's one of the things that makes beetles beetleish to begin with. You know, the old school flying insects had 2 pairs of wings. You need a little extra if you're made out of rock. Now, some modern insects, like the dragonfly, kept that arrangement. Others, like the housefly, got into performance flying. Their back pair of wings shrunk down and evolved into these little stubby organs that help with balance. Oh, for God's sakes, Jerry, tell them to go to the bathroom before the shot. But the beetles, they went for something a bit more hardcore. Over time, their front pair of wings
Beetles are
hardened,
crazy.
eventually becoming an extension of their external skeleton. Now, these elytra, as they're called, act sort of like a hard-shell sunglass case for that back pair of wings. That lets them hang out on the ground and dig or whatever they do without having to worry about getting a wing nicked. Now, you'll notice there's often quite a bit of wing folded up underneath those elytra. Looks cool when it all pops open, like when you use your mom's tiny umbrella. You know the one. It wasn't a euphemism. But then, when you're done with your flying, you gotta put the tent back in the bag. Now, this might not look like much, kind of pulling the whole thing in with kegels, but what's happening is some complex origami. Except they're sort of doing it with their butt. This here is what a wing looks like when it's all packed up.
I've already
And there's a
lost
very
this round.
specific set of folds that have to happen. You can see the first couple happen while the wing's outside. Then, using the elytra as a sort of guide, they do the rest with their abdomen. And then the whole thing ends with this little fold that acts sort of like a latch. Holds it all in place so it doesn't pop out accidentally.
There we
And then, of course, you have each species of flying beetle have to have its own folding pattern. And then you've got these obsessive science hippies that have to figure them all
Z
out.
Frank.
But if you want to see some
Dude
serious
does, like,
wing
all kind of
folding, you gotta go
random
talk to a
animal
rove
and
beetle.
bug
Now, some
videos.
rove beetles found the elytra to be a bit restrictive. They wanted to hang
And
out in
Balatro.
little tunnels in tight places, maybe get cozy with some ants or hunt them, whatever floats your boat. But to do
killing a
that,
little
you need
time
a little
before I start the
flexibility.
Aesop
And if you
Rock
have a
album.
full-length elytra, it's like wearing a trench coat made of metal. So over time, their elytra shrunk down to a little bitty thing. And you'd think with that arrangement, the wings would follow suit and shrink down too. But no. They've got wings
Which
for
I'm gonna be
days tucked
pausing
up
a
in
lot
there.
through, so
Look
I
at
think
that.
Balatro
Now you
is
can
the
imagine
answer
it's a
for
bit
it.
of a trick to pack that little backpack up. In this case, the wings aren't
Speaking of
just
pausing, have you heard recently about what's happened with Bungie? From what I'm hearing, there's two separate suits, and I hear Bungie was bought by Sony. So one suit is, I think, for Destiny 2, that somebody is claiming that they got their IP stolen by Bungie, and Bungie can't prove that they didn't do it because they deleted all of the content and can't find it anywhere to defend themselves with. Keeping in mind that we, as people that paid for that DLC, can't get this DLC. And then there's another artist now suing them for the game art, and they actually use the logos from this artist on the art in the game to where they can't even, like, they're caught point blank. Flat foot. You hate to see it, but Bungie deserves it, and that's kind of on Sony for purchasing a company that was already flagrant.
individually folded, but rather they're folded into each other. And they don't let that flexible hiney go to waste either. I mean, it's like their version of using your tongue to tie a knot in a cherry stem. And the way they do it isn't symmetrical. Each wing has a different set of folding creases. But it gets even crazier. They can
they
do
got
this
two
starting
suits
with
for
the
the
left
same
wing
thing.
on top, or the other way, where the right wing starts
you
on
actually
top.
finished
and
it?
that means that each individual wing has two different sets of folding creases. And they're still strong
I
enough
didn't
to
expect
fly.
that would drop for
I mean, that's
another,
not
what,
origami,
6-7
that's
months?
Or a fucking crazy economy. Now, you know what they say about dudes with small backpacks? Well, a lot of beetles have some
I paid
serious
good
equipment to begin
somebody
with.
paid good
I mean, look
ravioli
at
for
the
that
junk on
truck.
that leaf beetle fella. And what's amazing is they have an extra pair of wings in there. Just kidding. But it's big enough, isn't it? Now, they do it a little different than we do it. The males have this sort of sac of sperm that they need to deliver to a kind of sperm holding station inside the female. And the inside of the female can get a little complicated. So anyways, there's this one rove beetle who has a really long, it's not what you think, it's a flagellum. Now, the sperm doesn't go through the flagellum. Rather, the flagellum is used to guide that sperm sac closer to where it's
goodness.
supposed to go. But here's the problem. When it's done, it has to be retracted into a coil. Kind of
We'll
like a
be
vacuum
comparing
cleaner
that
power
diss track
cord.
to the new
But to do
Aesop
it without
Rock album
tangles,
in
it
a
has to
minute.
be kept under tension. So after sex, they've got this awkward decoupling, where at one point that baby maker is slung over his shoulder. And let me tell you, this is what happens when you let sex get on the steering wheel of evolution.
Go.
Starts getting ridiculous. I mean, I get it, the females have to figure out who to mate with, but come on, they should be looking for a sense of humor, a sexy voice. Not that. What is it, some kind of elaborate headgear that you use to prove yourself against another male? And it's not even a fight to the death, it's a fight to the shame. You know, because she's watching and she's encouraging it, but the whole thing's rigged. I mean, if your fighting style is essentially face judo, of course the one with the bigger parts is going to win. And then the offspring has the bigger parts and run that on repeat. I don't know, maybe they look sexy in a bar fight, but try sleeping next to that for 20 years. Get smacked in the head every time he rolls over. And I'm sure some of the males aren't that thrilled either. I mean, you know there's times where the giraffe weevil wishes the ladies were into something like biceps. But no, it's all about the neck. And they get teased. You look like a can opener with a swollen testicle. You look like a pretentious desk lamp from the 90s. Or you long-necked f***. But honestly, I'd take this arrangement over the ones they call giraffe weevils in New Zealand. At least here you got your eyes up front, like a giraffe. In these ones, the eyes are back here. Makes you wonder if people in New Zealand have ever seen a giraffe. Oh sure, they're the ones with the giant nose, right? Anyway, you can see two males here
between New
engaged
Zealand
in a
and,
schnoz fight with a
Australia.
female in the middle.
The way they name things
And that
makes
seems
no
to have
sense
done
to
it.
me.
So he mounts the female and, well, he's feeling pretty good about himself. And that's how you get it done. I mean, unless Big Steve comes around. Big Steve don't give a shit about your tiny ass nose. But the problem is that Big Steve can't always see what's under him so good.
What?
If you look close here, you can see another male wedged himself into the
Okay,
driver's
now I'm
seat.
terrified
Sort
to
of
know
lost
what's
the battle
going
but
on.
won the war. You know, one of the first places I learned about beetles was at a USDA lab at the
Am I
Smithsonian.
mentioned in this
Unfortunately,
track?
the
Do I
USDA
have to
and many other
respond,
science
or
hippies I work with are facing devastating
is
cuts to
everybody
their
loading
funding.
up their own
One
diss
thing I'm
tracks at this
increasingly
point?
interested in is how news sources are framing this and whether people are paying attention. And for that, Ground News is excellent. It's a website and app that gathers news from around the world and organizes it by story. And you get a clear visual breakdown of political bias, reliability, and
Not
even
by
ownership.
name.
So in this story about the USDA losing 15,000 people that help keep our
Somebody's
food
gonna
safe,
get it.
around 60 outlets reported on it, but only 19% are from the right. So if you mostly follow right-leaning
can't
media,
say
you
who,
might not have seen it.
but
And that's the approach
somebody's
that
gonna
Ground
get it.
News takes with all the important topics. Ground News also has a dedicated blind spot feed. It shows you stories being ignored by one side or the other of the political spectrum. Sometimes knowing what isn't being talked about is just as important as what is. It's a challenging time to get full context of news, and Ground News
As much
helps.
as I wanna trust
Head to
Ground News or say that it's
ground.news/ZayFrank
reasonable,
or scan my QR code.
when I
and
see
you'll save
the
40%
same
on the
thing
same
being
Vantage
promoted on
plan
so
I
many
use for
different
unlimited access
channels,
to all their features.
I can't help but think
Subscribe
it's somewhat
today.
nefarious.
Where were we?
Like
Oh,
Raid
right.
Shadow
It's not
Legends.
always about advantages in fighting. Sometimes it's about being clingy. These male longhorn beetles have legs like twice the size of the females, and they get a little
That's the
protective. I
one.
mean, it feels like a little bit of a red flag to me, but he makes sure that nobody else inseminates her, and she gets a chance to put the eggs he just fertilized into cracks. But the male forked fungus beetle went literal on the clinginess. When he finds a female he
That's
likes, he
kinda
just
where I'm
holds
at
on
with
for
it.
dear life. Here, you can see there's another male there trying to pry him off. They've got these little
just,
horns up
gets my
front that they can
spidey
kind of
sense
wedge in
tingling.
there for leverage. But this isn't about the horns, this is about grip strength. And they've got plenty. They can resist a force 600 times their body
Can't
weight.
give me a flush,
And
huh?
right there is how the science hippies figured that out.
Exactly.
Listen, whatever it
So
is,
I
from
know
a long
YouTube's
neck to
gonna
a
clap
tight hug,
this
you
is
have to
smutty.
commit to it. Gotta lean into that kink. Look at the dung beetle. When they were starting out, I mean, I think at that point they were just juggling shit, nothing fancy. The other beetles laughed their heads off.
Literally
But you know
juggling
what?
shit.
The male dung beetle said, if she's into balls of shit, then I'm gonna make the best and biggest ball of shit there is.
Oh,
Whoop,
change
boy.
box,
I
no.
don't tell you that, but uphill can be a real bitch for a dung beetle. Anyway, fast forward, and they're like one of the most famous beetles.
I'd
Who's
be
laughing now?
ashamed.
Over time, their bodies have evolved into dung-rolling machines. Look at this one. His face is basically a spork, and the front legs are studded with shark teeth. And they use those like
Was it a
gardening
new
tools
beetle
to
or an
excavate
old
the dung
beetle?
in the first place. And they also come in handy if someone else is getting touchy-touchy with dung you found first. Whoa! Now, the middle legs don't have those saw blades on them, and they help pack the ball down and smooth it out with some help from the tum-tums. Nothing half-ass about. If anything, it's a whole-ass situation. Now, the legs in the back, they've got the toughest job. Because to roll the ball, the beetle essentially does a handstand and then uses the back legs to push it. It's like an ab workout you'd find in the Devil's Hit class. And if that's not hard enough, you gotta
saw they
fight
got
other
new
males off who are trying to
VW,
steal your shit. You know, in
buses
the
or
end, it's all
whatever it is.
worth it. When you're rolling that ball and
They look
you know
kinda
she's
dope.
gonna lay her
I think
eggs
they're
in it,
electric,
and
though.
she gives you that look, she's not helping. I mean, she's not even pregnant. She can't even push a little bit. And you know what? Sometimes she gets on top and friggin' rides it. And it's bullshit, I think. But listening to me talk like this, you might think that all beetles do is fight and have sex. No, they also spend a significant amount of time trying to be not dead. This one here's not doing the best job at that. I mean, that bird's basically cracking it open like it's a nut. I'll tell you, there's one
Whoever
beetle
rolls
that
the
had enough of
hardest.
that and essentially became uncrackable. Also, just gonna throw it out there, looks a bit like a walking cat turd. The diabolical ironclad beetle ditched the flying and fused its elytra together and to its body with seams of interlocking parts. If you look closer, you can see that those parts are made out of lots of layers designed to peel apart and absorb force. These beetles can withstand forces around 39,000 times their body weight. I mean, that's like if you could withstand a force 39,000 times your body weight. Jerry, that's not helpful. Now, there's another beetle they call the desert ironclad beetle, but they're really not quite as ironclad, and they know it too. So you know what they do when they're threatened? They play dead. Smart. Gotta know your limits. Now, I don't know when the beef started between the beetles and the frogs and toads, but I will say the young ones need to slow the frick down and think about it before they put
Oh,
it in
no.
their mouth.
That
Case in
frog is
point, this one
screwed.
swallows a bombardier beetle. Hour and a half later, vomits it right back up. And the
Evolution
beetle's like, come on, man,
fails.
we both knew this was going to happen, and now you made me miss yoga. Because bombardier beetles have put quite a bit of effort into not being eaten. On the fly, they can mix these two chemicals in their abdomen, which together create a boomy boom boom fizz fizz reaction, which sends out a spray of boiling hot poison liquid. Now, a lot of the time, they'll pop that thing off before they get swallowed. Now, I'm not an expert on frog body language, but I don't think it likes it. It looks like somebody who burned the roof of their mouth with a slice of pizza. Anyway, each generation has to learn this the hard way. Here's a frog that knows what's up. Took a tiny taste and had a flashback and spit that right
Because
out.
all
Now, if you
evolution
happen
isn't
to be
created
swallowed
equal.
by a frog and you don't know how to make bombs in your butt, there's another option. Sometimes when you're at your lowest point, you gotta go deeper.
Oh,
And that's
no.
what the water scavenger beetle does. Heads for the exit, the other one. And if you want to know what that feels like, I think those leg shakes paint the picture. Honey, I had those weird shakes again. No,
You
no,
know what?
don't
I
think
deserve
so. The
that.
cream got rid of the hemorrhoids. Well, nothing
I
different than
should watch
usual. I
these
just
first.
sat down to have a poo. What's it look like? Hold on. Holy sh**. Hey, Stretch, when it gets cold, do you shrink back down to normal size? You look like a rejected audition for E.T.'s finger. You look like Reed Richards on a bender. Niche. Hey, bud, put on some clothes. You're all naked. You look like an Allen wrench with a pimple. You look like my grandma's ear cleaning finger. Hey, dickhead. It's sort of simple.
Batman? No, that sounds horrible. Is this on YouTube and is it TOS? Before I even consider it. And of course, it's chat's choice. But damn it. Yeah, there are multiple meanings to map at this point. I got another window up. Let me check it out in another window first. Because that sounds like a Wik panel that has happened before. Oh yeah, this goes right along with
Hey Mark, what time is it?
some stuff that we've argued about right here before. I mean, it better be, because if it's literally the kind of maps I was thinking about,
Hey Mark, what time is it?
Hang on.
I want to do something
just-
entirely different.
Okay, let me just decode the...
Go. Boop, 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 boop.
It's the afternoon.
Welcome to Map Men.
repeat
We're the men,
And here's the map.
Map men, map men, map men.
Back in the olden days, people would tell time by the sun.
What time is it?
I don't know, I've gone blind.
But then in the 18-somethings, when they invented trains, suddenly it mattered what the exact time was.
One man famously travelled from London to Bristol by train, and then the time was 10 minutes different, and then he missed his train home, or something like that. And so standard time was invented.
For a short while, some towns were using both local time and railway time, but this confusing, cluttery clock-up just made even more people miss their trains.
This is the East London suburb of Greenwich, where you don't pronounce the W or one of the E's.
And right here is the place where British Standard Time was standardised. Since 11 o'clock in the morning on the 2nd of August 1880, it's been exactly the same time all across the British Isles. Greenwich Mean Time.
Greenwich Mean Time started a trend, and soon became a standard the world over for your local country to be a certain number of hours either behind or ahead of.
Here is a map showing all the time zones around the world. Each bar is measured as the number of hours before or after Greenwich Mean Time, or UTC. But as you can see, the lines are not straight.
They bend slightly around country borders, as you
this
might
is
expect them to,
entirely
but what we're
Tiberius' fault
interested
right
in
here.
is how they bend massively around weird things, as you may well not expect them to.
So here's our Mapmen guide to the world's best time zone anomalies.
China.
China is one massive time zone. They've done this for unity and simplicity, but it has a few consequences. If you
Even
cross
their
the
time
border
zone
from
is
Afghanistan
communist?
to China, time jumps ahead by 3.5 hours.
Tea time. Dinner time. Tea time. Dinner time.
Secondly, and much more importantly, in Tibet, in winter, the sun doesn't rise until 10 a.m.
Because of this, some people in Xinjiang have adopted their own local unofficial time zone.
But the Han community who
Moving
also
on.
live there refuse to recognize it. All efforts to correct this have inevitably failed.
Unity and simplicity, my front bottom.
America.
Front bottom.
In Arizona, there are some areas that do observe daylight savings and some that don't. This means that for half the year, driving through the state means you have to keep a close eye on your watch.
She's gonna be okay. She's gonna be okay. Oh, it was too late. I couldn't save her in time. Everybody's gonna hate me because I... Oh, thank God.
I concur.
I'm gonna make it. I'll be a hero. She'll survive. Changing the hour is one thing, but the most curious curiosities happen at the controversial and ever-changing international dateline.
The line where Tuesday changes into Wednesday.
The Diomedes. The Diomede Islands live here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This one to the west belongs to Russia and is the furthest east you can go in the world. And this one to the east belongs to America and is the furthest west you can go in the world.
The international dateline splits these two islands down the middle, which means that even though they're only 2.5 miles apart, there's a whole day between them.
During the Cold War, a woman called Lynn Cox swam from one to the other across the so-called Ice Curtain, drawing congratulations on her brave statement of peace, even though all she really wanted was for it not to be Monday.
Kiribati.
Kiribati.
Really?
Yep.
For many decades, Kiribati was on the right-hand side of the dateline, and they were the last people on the planet to do anything. But this caused a problem.
Every Friday morning, when the Kiribatians were eager to do business with their biggest trading partners, Australia, the Aussies were sleeping off their Saturday morning hangovers.
Not now, Messina.
So, on New Year's Day 1995, they jumped across to the left-hand side of the dateline, skipping a day ahead to join their business partners in Hangoverland.
Why are you still calling me?
This meant that Saturday the 31st of December 1994 never happened. As a consequence of Kiribati changing from one side to the other, the international dateline now looked like an Easter Island head.
And their time-travelling tactic triggered a trend.
Boff.
In 2011, they were joined on the new side of the dateline by the nation of Samoa.
Samoa.
Really?
No, I don't know.
That's what we love about the lines on this map. They don't show distance from Greenwich, semicolon.
I don't like
they
this
show
at
a rich
all.
tapestry of culture and allegiances.
The surprisingly sinuous zigs and zags of the world's time zones demonstrate that it is not time that controls us humans, but rather us humans who control time.
Well,
Us humans who control
it's all a
time.
construct.
Well, us humans who control time.
well.
Us humans who
Write
control
all of it
Paste
down.
Well, us
paste
humans who
and
control
paste
time.
and
Well.
paste.
Stop doing that!
Oh,
Oh,
this is
time
terrifying.
zones.
Yes, got it in one.
My turn.
Okay, 4
Make
words.
it irritating and,
Three
and
words,
ruin my
sorry.
stream times.
Circle. The moon. The sun. Circle? Circle, sun. Oh! Whole thing. What are you doing? What? I've never seen anything like that before. What? Playing a piano and tapping a tiny man on the shoulder? Phantom of the Opera, Scarface,
There's
Little
much
Women,
left after
Fantasia, The Jungle Book, Les Miserables, Sound of Music, The Gospel According to St. John, The Sound of Music. Oh wait, I've got it.
It was You've Got Mail.
Oh, I love that film.
I've got it on DVD.
Oh, let's watch it.
Gift, fleeting and swift, ticking and
Yeah, that's
talking
the
itself
entirety of
away,
it.
itself away.
All right, so we're gonna get to this album now. Yeah, the whole thing was an ad. Like the entire back end of it was the time zone of ads. So on to the very first track of this album, and let's see how it goes, because I've been itching to listen to this, and here we are finally.
Someone just threw a rock through the window.
And it's a straight up visualizer. So
Will you please hand me the note
like
beside the rock?
the whole vibe of what they're doing with the art reminds me of
read it to you.
Omega Mart.
It says, walk with me.
I don't go when nobody signal, I don't signal, I just go. Another rain check, one for the road, uncrustable king. Pink pen tucked in the code, amen. Ghost in the cold AM, play dead, but awake to float and say less, say when. Oh, the saints of mayhem ain't obey, no tech, okay, bet. Code names get thrown around between clubhouses with secret knocks. Leapfrogging these tent fires, I'm no face at the green spot with the fly hand. Clean Glock lettering, peacock feathering. Canary yellow, Zelda green. Blueberries and heavy cream, yes. Vendetta messenger, get to the boys we beeline with. He's autographed our street signs, plus a paw print from the Cleek High mix. Hydrangea Gatorade, a half a dozen scratch offs, then I'm back in black. Attack, it's Mac the knife on Daryl Mack. It's black and white with passers-by, upsetting every active rat that's aptly trying to drag his laffy taffy through some traffic jam. That type of shit'll have the kid distracted from the offering. A city's baptism, y'all walk with me. Where the sky is falling and the walls are bleeding and the wires are crossing. Where the ground is sinking and the pipes are freezing and the nights are appalling. I don't go, nobody signal, I don't signal, I just go.
tougher?
Two different silvers in the utility belt, like twin flames for the same hands from the pillory. Out in the grid of infinity smells, hooded figures, sniffing markers, chewing ginger, missing marbles, cookie monsters with conflicting dharmas. I'm moving contra to existing markets.
I couldn't begin to tell you.
Rah rah sonic boom, it's my nom de plume.
But you're right on time.
Lava. You can see it from the moon. I can't even wait. Heat a cup of soup, feet up on the table, eat a couple shrooms, eat a couple more, meet up in a few. You can be like, yo, I feel like such a dork. I can push a button, see you through the floor. Night crawlers in fine form, offline saucers. That's not a final warning, it's a final offer for the first time caller. Last time caller, capsized in that fat glow from this black light. I might shortcut through Magic 5. I got more ups in the afterlife, and that's for you. Can't even rest in peace and peace. Tag the gates of heaven, so my name is still a present. Set your meet and greet. Hee hee hee. Crystal bally hits the wall, a hawk to meet. No vault safe, no off days. Walk with me. Where the sky is falling and the walls are bleeding and the fires are crossing. Where the ground is sinking and the pipes are freezing and the nights are falling. Don't go, nobody signal, I don't signal, I just go. Don't go, nobody signal, I don't signal, I just go.
We ain't getting this blind.
We don't stay close to the flame. We get ghost, weave those lanes. We don't know to obey. It's okay if you do, please don't change. We don't stay close to the flame. We get ghost, weave those lanes. We don't know to obey. It's okay if you do, please don't change.
Yep, 20K
You're a
off.
prisoner here now.
Try it again. Trying to finish off Green State. Required score scales faster for each ante. Applies for all previous stakes.
Suit of calluses, active and moving callous. Anomaly in the algorithm. Through the algebra-calculus. I'm all of Alexandria's information in aggregate. Ruling elder giving you the hell that melt the valuables. Ribbances, grid at my back, I'm in the diagonals. Evolving, shivering his back, he shattered the manacles. Man down, damn it, can he manage the variables? Manually override these overnight manuals, man. My mama made a hipster tapering of the straightaway. The making of a bedlamite, the straightening of the theta wave. Working on a way to cure the sudden inexplicable urgency to secure a sure shot shape paperweight pay demand simultaneously in survival mode and looking like 100 violations of the fire code. Design a die alone moments out the styrofoam,
really
but not before these no names go the way of the dial tone.
And you get some really good jokers.
Yo, could you do me a favor? Could you go to the black hole, super red,
the
please?
visuals.
And can you grab me? It has a warning label on it.
I have
It
no
says
idea what the
something
genre
bad's gonna happen
is.
to you from the product. Can you bring me one of those?
Staring at the sun until one of us blinks. When it does, I'm running for the tunnels, hater blood in the creek. Bloody hell. Every day I wake and one up a king whose kingdom come to refer to me as the wonderful thing. One of the filthiest fish in the azure. Cut a political act to the particulate matter. Should have presented as a pattern, put the pig out to pasture. This ain't that action figure in the original package. We in the shit with the taggers. Bastards and bullies and baddies and bitches and bummers who shuffle out of the shadows with the limbs of another. Trap jaws, heads, stay puffed arms in the cape of Vader. Over rollerblading Barbie with a bow from Hank the Ranger. Bullseye in danger, I'm a
So, like, bringing up the rollerblade Barbie, that was actually a banned Barbie doll because the doll itself had rollerblades that would spark when you run it across the ground, and it started setting people's shit on fire.
at 70 yards. As long as the target is not a Snellen chart. Hello from the hell and back to autograph an X mark. Leaving the treasure for the next man. The best part, don't show up at the get down. Talking that holy as if you ain't hellbound. Similarly, don't show up at the get up. Talking that hellish as if you ain't blessed up. Just don't. Just don't. I'm on a higher kind of prowess. I'm somewhere in the melee while I'm somewhere doing Tai Chi on a mountain. Only out of bed to pick the lock and smuggle in his Visigoths who love to redesign the hillside little box by little box. So get these businesses to page a stranger on the intercoms. The kind that sound real till you realize they did you wrong. Oh, this is definitely checkers. I don't play chess. A sack of city atlas is actually way less after. Mermaid leather in the truck. It's only in poor taste if you ain't never been a one. Pickle the hand of whoever signal is man's. That's a 5-wick candle and a bib in the sand. My advice is don't approach him with a sobbing in the copy room or eating hot pretzels in the mezzanine at Oz and Woo. Or at the hobby shop with Honey copping model glue. Or meeting Bobby at the Bronx Zoo. Don't show up at the get down talking that holy as if you ain't hellbound. Similarly, don't show up at the get up talking that hellish as if you ain't blessed up. Just don't. Just don't.
Doesn't kind of half of it, like it feels like some Five Nights at Freddy's cross with Omega Mart. I'm vibing with it.
Yeah. My dog has blue eyes, cat grew supersized, wig to my L2, it's something in the food dye. Human spit and vinegar, funnel to the amygdala, missing with all the funny stuff, mission control the viscera. Me invisible, guess I'm a little clocked out, shot back, always on, visitors have knocked for hours. It's fingers in the ears and singing ABC for adults. And look at that, I haven't seen y'all in months. These are repeatable results and a pulse in the dead meat sea. I'm not dead yet, beep, 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 beep. JK, if you celebrate it, we will check the tape. Shame, shame. Famous pinning, shoot from his fingers to wake and make a day like barge haulers on a Volga, drowning you in Lake Monet. Or maybe Sisyphus from Titian would have saved the date for twisting you the Francis Bacon way. My dog has blue eyes, cat down to 2 lives. Other cat chose violence. Good times, movie night, sound down, studio and urgent care, sample surgeon working out the drums with an inverted chair. Thwack, served and rare and paired with a warm brie, pears from the side yard, honey from El Coro's bees. The one man, 40 thieves, lead the party wearing 40 pair of Jordan 3s, Lord. Wait a week and send a bill for storage fees, and some quarters and a quarter-mile of worried beads. If it please the court, back on fat tires, headed for the red sun. Charles in a cast iron ask, land pirates at him, flanked by vampire bats with irregular flight patterns. Night master, author of light scattered. Maybe do try to move like it matters. The people say, what kind of dog is that? What kind of dog is that? That's mud. What kind of dog is that? What kind of dog is that? There's 5 dogs in one.
I'm gonna say this is
what
probably
kind of dog is that?
My least
what kind
favorite
of
track
dog
so
is
far.
that? That's a good boy.
It's got some bars on it and some pretty good one-liners, but
my dog has blue eyes,
what's
cat
up,
less
UG?
lupine. Punks looking paper thin, I say the shit 2 times. Punks looking paper thin, it isn't worth the blunt force or even paper clip and real estate up in the junk drawer. Running with scissors and the wisdom of the rivers, from the wind that shiver timbers to whatever melt the swimmers. Traffic and weather reported from child vandals. We tell them to be careful, aware they are wild animals who leap tall buildings and write the manuals. Follow with the name strip, you can see the knowledge of the ancients. Arm's length from the lord of the car graveyard, who about to charge the hill in a cart from H Mart saved. Ain't that something? 2 board boxes in the trunk, it's like the Ark of the Covenant. Every cloud of smoke I blow come with a dove in it. I hope you're ready for the rumble strip again. What kind of dog is that? What kind of dog is that? That's mud. What kind of dog is that? What kind of dog is that? There's 5 dogs in one. What kind of dog is that? What kind of dog is that? That's a good boy.
Yeah, the beat just doesn't hit. The bars are solid, but the beat doesn't hit at any point. So I'd say for production, I'm probably going to be in the low end of what's in this album. And then immediately into something a bit more high energy.
You know how it is with these vandals today. That was no ordinary vandal.
Aesop Rock isn't necessarily mainstream, but he's been around for a while.
Starry night, got it by the guardrail. Dark rider, ride up on a car-sized garden snail. Double park, special deliver his own barf mail. I ain't heed the call you sent. It's smart to fail to call again. I'm harm's way incarnate, shooting marbles at your army man. You hardy hard and met the architect, the Harvard REM. Sorry, I love the smell of markers in a 4 a.m. and drawing giant letters on whatever signage forced the hand. Had a corner camera, had him back in his lobby when all the coals ping a tower in the valley of Guanji, huh? Body double lobby. I'm one, it was two. No, I am one, it was one, it was just too much for the cube. I know the what if you mold would undo the bubble you blew. What if I tell you I am everywhere at once and it's true? I'm playing chess with Picasso, I train to fight with the champ. I'm dealing cards to a Martian, I'm shooting dice with the lamb. Modern science hasn't figured out what's triggering the super strength, but also hasn't seen him eat a pepper that he grew himself. Hydroponic veggie garden, strawberry vines going pop. My bok choy look like Sancho Bob. My salsa recipe is kept in a safe. Sharpest teeth on a block. Anyone who disagrees is a bot. Yo, anyone who isn't me is a cop. He the all-season seasonal fog. Ace Rock in effect. All city, all star, all land, air, sea. Hand to the most low, always in motion. Cargo on a slow boat, call to the quotient. All I do is get lost, get found, get free. Crawl down Broadway, sticking like flat black. Slalom through the pub tents, puppy in the backpack.
Lost, get found,
Bogey the
get
bogey,
free.
pony
Sick.
up. Posey for the pocket of any remotely chosen one. Folk about facing missing man information. A fancy way to say you're rowing one. So much theologians running. Future saying no to drugs. Future saying yes to emotional donut runs. Or any UFO that comes. Poor thing. I know that take a loss and wave a saucer down. Like take me to anywhere but the office of the lost and found. After lost and lost, free to scrap the vector. Any matter ain't about to bat a signal back to sender. Fed the tractor to a fish and a fish to a bear. Check the body cameras on once you're physically there. Where all it takes is a theater major to be the mayor. All it takes is a need a beggar to keep us anchored. That same old love in summer, get the average hermit. After lost and lost, free to scrap the vector. Any matter ain't about to bat a signal back to sender. Fed the tractor to a fish and a fish to a bear. Check the body cameras on once you're physically there. Where all it takes is a theater major to be the mayor.
Where all it takes is a theater major to be the mayor. Like these bars.
All it takes is a need a beggar to keep us anchored. That same old love in summer, get the average hermit feeling here. She can lift a Hummer off a trapped person. Crossword killer, WWR's terminal line. Gate 20 on eternal delay. An hour or two, all of my letters are curling up from the ledger, circling above us, spelling out the terms of my surrender. I've been showing up too early for that shifting of J's. I do the mile, have a witness play the vid when you wake. Catch him playing hooky from the whole abysmal charade. I'm at the crib watching video days. Homeboy in effect.
Oh, I see. We got a feature coming up.
Hand to the most low, always in motion. Cargo on a slow boat, call to the quotient. All I do is get lost, get found, get free. Crawl down Broadway, sticking like flat black. Slalom through the pub tents, puppy in the backpack.
All news, all the time.
It's like they made a mini mart simulator and you just walk around for the entire visual.
Stock the cooler for the rendezvous. Pop the cooler, shot the rocket fuel and pamplemousse. I'm Rocky 10, type to watch a comet hit the common room. Rocket stop the violence, tea and pockets out the Babadook. Comic conquistador, kamikaze comedy referred to as the architect of modern lighthouse keeper core. Ease into the graveyard, shifting, state-of-the-art safeguard, crippling. Crimson King, deep breath. Poke his head up at the lobby, check both ways. Cheat death, any fugazi. Chia pet on parade in whichever gardens of Eden. You merely swivel the camera to see a part mausoleum. I am positively cold. Operatives like pennies in a pocket with a hole that we are dropping as we go, knocking over what we must. Piranhas to the bone in under 60 seconds flat. Can you honestly say no? 10 a.m. in the fog, feeling anxious. 10 p.m. in the same exact fog, feeling dangerous.
Solid arrangement.
10 a.m. in the fog, feeling anxious. 10 p.m. in the same exact fog, feeling dangerous.
This is 1010 Win.
It appears realize I was wrong again. I fear I was right all along. That's why you gotta wait till the end. Credit scrolling, metadata uploaded, persona non grata, all in the eye of the beholder. Betrothed to the game alone. Never show the cards he holding.
Sakamoto days? Oh, that's Sakamoto, yeah, I played.
Going where the rolling fast
I took a break.
Both birds come home to roost like homing. No one sent forth the raven before a dove, a dragon wings of black omen.
Yeah, it's pretty much
I keep
just
a few moments under lock and key
getting
from
enough ships to
myself that I
pass to the next
stole 'em.
round.
I build the same machines from different components and act surprised when they turn on me, eyes glowing. The devil you be knowing. Russian planes darken the skies over
my deck is
Poland.
stacked,
Yeah, we
so-
know them. My blood run cold once it gets heated. I see the exit
Billy
beat
Woods.
beats to meet it. Luckily or unluckily for me, my brain discretes energy. 10 a.m. in the fog, feeling anxious. 10 p.m. in the same exact fog, feeling dangerous. 10 a.m. in the fog, feeling anxious. 10 p.m. in the same exact fog, feeling dangerous.
Yeah. This is Towns and Wins.
Crossroad intercept, hyperlink in winter's breath. For the record, I'm not sinking. Zigga zigga twice, I'm thinking, but not too much. All the things I should have said, trying to live in what was and all it could have been. Sandcastle and raised bed, under scaffolds with duct tape on every joint in connection. My eyes never stray far from the exit. Bessie's TV always played the westerns. Hot water, cornbread, pinto bean is always extra. Check for a nigga, laughing at mall cops and vests that read heightened security. Max value 40, I'll be there shortly. Something to see if you see me shorty.
If you try it, it might work.
Split my pants and hopping gates on the walk to the bank. My kid wanna hear 5 minutes of funk. I would say the same thing, same age as he is. UHF 31.
No discards.
10 a.m. in the fog, feeling anxious. 10 p.m. in the same exact fog, feeling dangerous.
This is where we lose.
10 a.m. in the fog, feeling anxious. 10 p.m. in the same exact fog, feeling dangerous.
It's a visualizer that they make on their own. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever seen Omega Mart before, but it's like a fabricated store with a bunch of weird fake brands that turns into a alternate reality game. This is full on the vibe this gives me. Yeah, this is not giving me anything.
Plate spinner off a late dinner. One falling plate away from a date with the plague bringer. One away from drugged up in a cage. Or all the fun in the world succumb to sudden malaise. When a ship coming, what a running. Rudder bug and sail sliced up. Somebody, would you mind if I cut in? I would have been the young wild stubborn, but honestly the current version might invite the upend. Or burn sky with multiple suns counting. The rising and setting steady, referencing John Venn, assembling these momentary overlapping super suns. Beautiful by lumensing some renewable tool for one to fool with. Fire is not a great fight. Fire and fire is on the same side. A lot of history there, a couple novas even. Hard to see a closed circle in the throes of open season, but so be it.
We got it. Which is actually what Nutella is wet chocolate spread.
Crow mag at the park with a bag of bird seed. Stolen hand warmers, flag of world peace. Street roots, word puzzle crusher on commercial feed. Circumvent the tall man, searching for eternal peace. Nervous from the service and make him the perfect worker. Be to what end? To what even is biodiversity? I mean, 4 walls, all hours, no change of clothes. Low water, lime, dry, whole grain, oats, whole worth. Wrapped in what you can make with your bare hands. When sitting independent of the greater square dance. And whether after all the smoke clear and flares vanish, it can actually make another's arm hair stand. Well, can it? Soul blade or old maid, I'm somewhere in the middle, pretty fizzled on the whole charade.
Reality
Still
hurts.
mixing up the stolen with the homemade. Rapping for my life and being difficult to know.
That's why marketing is everything.
So be it.
Wolf Piss. There should be a brand of beer called Wolf Piss. Straight up. But I'm sure it'd be as good as that, whatever that Death Water is.
More than a
Liquid
second,
death.
Arabica, hecka hackles up. Edging out of latency, take me to the miraculum. Backing off the B team, blacking out name tags. Never name a rabbit, you apprehend for the game bag. Rabbit after rabbit, I'm backlogged. To bag over shoulder, handing rabbits out to pack dogs. Santa Claus, unbowed, running from the unfun. Get about as far as the bodega, and my lungs are done. Did the same shit yesterday and the day before. Oh, for heaven's sake, you can't just coach someone to go out there and resonate. You go out there hoping the residents already ate.
Rotting potato water is vodka.
Tender sticks headed for the leopard's mouth. Who let him out? He isn't chipped. They should have never let him out the chrysalis. Shit, if it's really wilderness on wilderness on wilderness. So be it.
Come, sisters, let things fall.
You know what? We ball. Extra large buying.
Feel the positive essence of the words as you repeat them. Be relaxed with them and permit them to merge with your mind and become a part of you.
Okay, fuck all that bullshit though. I'm picky. I only open books that glow. Who done it and cozy mysteries? Who stole the crypt keys? Who showed the minions to the minced meat? It was me. Hut hut. Helmet off. Blitz the whole bit stream. Override the AV in with AV out the in between. IVN. One a Epi. One a Ralph Steadman. BB Judge. GPMD. The amazing Kreskin. His bag is a braided bread in the oven for 30 days. It's never the same twice. It's always a perfect bake. It's purple prose when you're looking for just the facts. You wanna know where I've been? Some other where nothing's mapped. Lost at the wall bounds. Faded facing 30,000 square feet of long owl. Long owl. Strong man roll up in a Pontiac siege tower.
Grandson.
Fire out 45 degrees down. Accounting for the breeze. I can do that shit when you knock 2 arrows at once and shoot to counter separate things. I can hit a moving target from a moving target. It's a rabbit from an equine. It's an ET from a starship. The stoicism only misdirection for the metrics. It doesn't represent the actual pressure through the plexus. So that may be why I'm terrible with names. Is cause I'm special
I
at
would think it'd be
memorizing
like
the
numbing.
exits. Stirring those
I ain't
same
messing with
seconds. I jumped into a volcano. Climbed up only
Worst
to say
bodega
my today
ever.
is not on no Today Show. All recorded history is forfeit to the Fuego. It's infinite present tense. Presently on some next. Referencing something ancient. I play the current events in a way that feels just too flagrant to have occurred by itself. I know that sound absurd as all hell. I don't even know what I'm saying for certain. Surely it's help. Help?
You have to decide to overcome your fear and
Take a negative. Let's go.
Help!
No one will know you need it.
Do we ball?
You ask.
Yeah, we ball.
Same bat time, same bat channel, same flat line, same plaid flannel, same bad gamble, same graph name on the axe handle, brand new taxidermy mammal on a mantle, man. Man, I ain't sneaking by the sleeping bear. I mean, if you ain't down to let it eat you, why you even here? Pigeon on my shoulder like a goth Rio. To put down Picasso here to unmassage the ego. I'm friend or foe depending on the content of your keynote. And not above the lobbing up a rotten tomatillo. Honestly, it's getting hard to watch like paradise for parking lots. Never mind that parking lots are paradise. The paradox. Oh, the places you'll go in exploding aerosols. The running with a boiling beak or in a pair of tongs. Drink a shot of ant and roach. Eat a bowl of cherry bombs. With peri-peri, no. With chimichurri sauce. Boyhood drawing B-boys with big sneakers to the shoe fit. Now they pouring plaster in a footprint. Take it to the lab. Show the cast to the bullpen. All you get is choruses of I call bullshit. That's how a giant flyeth under the radar for so long. Y'all underestimate the day arc I'm on. The stage dark at dawn. Carnival Barker. The autumn barber saw marks
our
in the
weekly
can
dose
of
of
the arm
hip-hop.
of his Nautica Parker.
It's been a good
At
couple
large,
weeks for it.
from playing Dig Dug at the IHOP to undead 3-inch punch in a pine box to Vegas to the month 3 months standing and more than magenta, yellow
vibing.
and cyan ink. It's a wave, it ebb and it swell.
We'll
It
be
can
vibing for
celebrate
the
the
foreseeable
memory or
future.
separate the cells. It can focus on excelling or accentuate the hell. That's excellent. Can it send help? Cause help?
Just remember, it's up to you to choose to get help.
Help!
And there is nothing to be embarrassed about. It will only help you.
can always come in and argue with me about how we vibe, but beyond that, yeah, we vibing. Classic piano sample.
We had a visiting artist in the winter of '96 who came to talk about his paintings and the shit that make him tick. I think his name was John something. If at the assembly you're allowed to cut the class, I was sunk into the bucket, yellow puffy on my lap. Bring on John something. Hot-blooded art freaks take the auditorium. 3/4 boorish, 1/4 primordia. Keen to absorb the stories of veteran picture makers. Even if an unfamiliar name and face or mystery flavor. Say, John something, who was punctual to the podium. Visibly uncomfortable, having trouble focusing. Noticing we're noticing, he pardons the glitch. Says, I'm sorry, but it's vital I depart from the script. To where? You had one job. John something, something's wrong with John. Something's on his mind. He been searching for the words. He been standing at the plate. I ain't anticipate the curve. He go,
this music is rated by how many existential crises you have.
The extent to which
especially all the contents of this particular
I'm on the
bodega.
edge of my seat. He said it's called When We Were Kings. This was 1996. He was there to show some photos that would demonstrate his gift. I think his name was John something. If at the assembly you were seeing something new, I'm a new fan before even seeing what he do. Like, bring on John something. When We Were Kings is a documentary feature on the 74 U.S. Heavyweight Boxing Championship. It's commonly referred to as the Rumble in the Jungle, where you come to punch or die as neither party's crying uncle. Champ George Foreman versus the kid Muhammad Ali and Zaire, and other politics involved in the affair, including rare footage leading up to the event. Plus interviews with VIPs remembering the effects. This is something up there, present as it gets. Talking Ali and his confidence, begetting his success, but almost referenced as a magic or some extrasensory X that he had witnessed and was duty-bound to tell to someone else, us. And truly I was hung on every sentence, though it probably lasted longer than intended. It felt genuine, if a little strange. 30 minutes in, we have yet to see what you paint. Look. January '96, he was there to share his work, maybe guide us through the mist. I think his name was If at the assembly you were tripping off the tangent, but also like I need to see this flick, it sounds fantastic. Or so says John something.
I didn't want to
low on time.
cheat by actually
John
blowing up the
starts
lyrics,
blowing through his slides.
because then I would never end
They were ultimately
watching
fine,
this
but the takeaway is
first
praise
reaction.
for this entirely
So
other
I just want to
mind.
react to
I'm
it.
at the movie theater. This was Boston, 1996. 20 years of age. I'm an 80s Mike Tyson kid. We heard about that legendary clashing of the Titans, but could never have contextualized the metrics or environment until
He's got a track about
90
achy
minutes
joints.
of history and
I think it's called
images and
Bad
music.
Back.
I was riveted infinity. That walk out different than you slithered in. Every atom in you shifting, christened in the river shit. And I still revisit it. This week, winter came, queued it up, hit play. It felt like someone visited. Anytime I pay it forward, I say this was recommended by one of my favorite artists. This person who in 1996 gave the only artist lecture I've remembered ever since. I think his name was James. If at the assembly and we're headed for the theater, you should put your hands together for the greatest ever speaker, who may or may not be named John.
Just 15 minutes of you. I ain't even mad. Ain't no way we get through this blind. Because I'm playing blind.
I'm too cold. My temperature is just too low. I put antifreeze to these blue lips. I got blue toes. I'm too cold. My hat raccoon, my coat goose. I ain't never defrost my frozen food. I got icicles on my two lobes. Nose too, I'm too cold. I can make any polar bear wear a hat. I can make 2 penguins share a cap. I can make 9 reindeer have to quit. Even old man winter won't dap the kid. I'm just too cold. I flash freeze. I breathe glass. I crack trees. Ice cream man. Snowfall walls when my song plays from that dream van. I'm brick, sled dogs going on strike, snowmen going inside, snowcat stuck, summertime snowing all night, wardrobe frozen in time, extremities numb, frosty, I beat the heat, that strawberry field about to meet the freeze. Y'all ain't cold, y'all lukewarm, too cold is my true form, I'm too cold, pack gloves, doorknobs just snap off, I'd bring fire, I'd ski on back, I'd ski to space, I'm Fion Man, freeze, jump up, joust the windmill, how's that negative a million wind chill, sit still or I sit still, you're in cold blood with a hand of silver, I'm too cold, I put you on Cornelius on hold, bold, cold is the one true God, I'm so cold, had to get a new job, and a new name, they call him Cool Breezy, ain't never been the same, always staying up late and checking the weather vane in vain, snowy out weather in the main, that's too cute, but I'm too cold, I play Cold Crush on my cool phone, I cold plunge that hot tub's just fool's gold, I wear cool clothes.
Much of the night drifted by peacefully, and then I heard it.
These samples. Ooh. The beat is ridiculous. It's very deceiving.
Beauty braid the beast hair and bring him chicken pelmeni in the fake Eames chair. I need Sade on a speaker and need a repair. The same way all God's creatures need air. Feed 4 fish and a snail, I was told hitched. I said make yourself at home, he been multiplying since. Counted 15 is a new one every time. Like you lend a friend your Jeep and he go use it in a crime. He told me you was going to Costco. How they found it later in a pond outside Chicago. Why you only holler when it's Contra in a foxhole? Why you never poppin' with some tacos and an Optimo? Lots of ops will rock, I'm notch the face. I'm at the spot in pajamas till I'm a notch on a blade. You in some shit, you hit the hip, I get the rockets engaged. Now how does one see a solid and one a polymer clay? Huh? The job is not the dock of the bay. I know that's not a popular tick. I'm down to bottle shit up, but I guess it got me today. I seen the cat break a vase and I broke my bottle the same. Look, peeking to its poppin' beyond the event horizon. It's a war on dirty dishes to a blur akin in Mayim. I'm jealous of that Mrs. Myers Lemon Lime Alliance. They've been friends since like forever, always effortlessly vibing. I ain't lying, the crib is a Navy club. Butterfly, a piece of tech, liberate the weed crumbs. See me to a TD, I'm dressed to this meditation. Being lost in repetition is what get us through the cha-cha-cha-cha. Change is aces, plain aimless. Long day of ricocheting at the wrong angles. Waterway days, that's part of what make them dangerous. Particle man party with the straight to VHSA. Brought up on some always at the ready for collect call from its ace. I'm at the mall, come get me. Pre-selly when both of our time mattered. And you ain't have to probe and notice some kind of pattern. The nose knows well in advance of the Geiger counter. If something's in the air when compared to the prior encounter, it isn't incommunicado, it's a lotto. Even if you buy a ticket, you lucky to win a combo or visit. Let me catch you up on the crib. I got a palm in the corner about as tall as the kid. I got a fig in this other corner, it's dwarfing the palm. A tiny peek into the florals we've been hoarding at home. Homes, hunchback of Rome, get the cane raised, even age to a jump scare away from the grave. Yeah. Took a play cave.
Straight flush. So far, this album's been a solid 7. I got no complaints. There'll probably be like 15 more listen-throughs before I even get the entire crux of what he's talking about. That's kind of how he works.
Yo, you could pull a rabbit out a hat, that's tricky. I know where there's 12,000 birds in a chimney. Your kind of witchcraft take a lot of practice. My kind of witchcraft show up in the atmosphere. Yo, sent you a pin and a date in September, let me pencil you in. You could spend your whole summer hiding birds in your coat, but come one full eve, 6:30 on a nose on a grassy knoll, by a school of brick, I'll be sipping something diet with a lime on the rim. I'll be slicing up a kiwi about the size of my fist, about to put you on a science of the migrating swift. You like I didn't come for science, I had come for a trick. You had come for some magic, dummy, shut up and sit. There's a couple thousand other people doing the same to see a miracle. Smoke and mirrors ruins the frame, I'm saying yo. You could link solid metal rings, that's tricky. 10 birds circle in a middle school dizzy. Choosing a location, a pause along the route to Venezuela, well away from the frost. Yes, I'm proud, yo. Boxes, swifts, loyal to the neighbors, for example. This chimney been a favorite since the 80s. By 7, it was several hundred birds. The show is a slow burn, no, it only take a moment to turn. Here a thou, there another. Synchronized swimmers doing aerials above us. A prayer for the lovers, catch this. Your kind of witchcraft take a lot of practice. My kind of witchcraft ain't about distraction. Yo, focus on a throwdown. Sorcery so absurd, even Merlin had his phone out. 7:15 like a Sistine Chapel wearing particle effects projected to seem natural. Sunset, jaw-dropping avian performance. The patterns of mathematics, the algorithm enormous and growing. Headline not to be foul, reads Earth Mother posterizes wands in her flowers, and yo, you could turn a wand into flowers, that's tricky. Over 10K cyclone above the city. Your kind of witchcraft take a lot of angles. My kind of witchcraft witness to the angels. You can levitate a volunteer, that's tricky. 12 stacks hit the tornado in a tizzy. An act the likes of which we've never seen, even when there's nothing up the sleeve. Yes, I'm starving. Yo. Hey, yo.
He makes a song about food, it has the straight up raps on it.
Yo, the funneling of swifts in a brick. Cylinders is seriously some mystical shit. I mean, dare I say astonishing. Fuck it, I'ma say it, it's astonishing. That's true, stranger, that's a true banger. Plus, they put the show on every day for a month. Now I appreciate my card has found its way to the top of the whole deck, but homie, you just can't make this shit up. That's for the homie I showed up, remember smoke from the ears. I heard he had to move home, hasn't spoken a year. Well, shit. That's not supposed to happen, and again, that's classic action reaction, yo. You could pull a rabbit out a hat, that's tricky. 12,000 birds disappear into a chimney. Your kind of witchcraft take a lot of practice. My kind of witchcraft show up in the atmosphere.
I'm cooked. I mean, we gotta see if the Slurpee machine even works. Since when do we get scratches on albums anymore? Take 3 of a kind. Run it. This is Blind as Evil.
My lady moved in, I picked her up a gift. A miniature aquarium and trip to get some fish. 3 green tetras, 1 scarlet baddest, and a touch of plant life. Some live, some plastic. Got the stuff home, put it in the tank. Everyone is thriving, it's a lively little gang. A few weeks pass when, plain and clear, I hear, oh my God, there's a snail in here. What? I feel as if she's gotta be mistaken, as we do not have a snail. Granted, she knows what a snail is. I make my way over in position for the glare. I'm looking at a snail that wasn't previously there.
Okay,
I feel I'm being pranked, but if magic is the reason, then really I think it's great. My girl on her computer reading animal facts. A snail egg can hitch a ride into your tank on a plant. You motherfucker. But wait, there's more. I'm Looking at the snail, he seems pretty pleasant. We figure let him kick it, as honestly shit's impressive. A couple weeks pass, I hear another gasp. 7 more snails have appeared on the glass. How? Determined to identify the guests when I stumble on a column of common invasive pests and boom. The number 1 offender on the pile, the bladder snail, known as stowaway and multiply. Plus a self-compatible hermaphrodite. That means the kids will never have to hear the parents fight. We went away for a week, came home to a scene. Snail population up in the teens. This was weeks ago already, it's been getting extreme. We are well over 30, but murder isn't my thing. While the fish have been patient, the situation's a bummer. They be staring at the snails, then staring at each other like these motherfuckers. But wait, there's more. I figure let him kick it. 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 Folk tell the kiddo I think I'm missing some info. Just clean the tank and throw the fucking snails out the window. Look, I guess I don't know how to shut the door when Snail Zero's been here as long as the other 4. I get the reputation as a blight on the tank, but I ain't shoveling no matter what they rightfully claim. Even if I was able to one day snag him and bail, exactly fuck I'm supposed to do with a bag full of snails? Oh, here comes crazy old Lacey holding his bag full of snails. He also bark at the traffic and drink his tap from a grail. Not doing it. I love those fish. I love those snails. Coexist. I think about the day it eventually overflows and fills the whole apartment and fills the whole of Rome. A reckoning is upon us. A decision must prevail. A sensible rehoming or snails.
Get it.
In between shedding skin, some are subtle, some are semaphore, holding severed limbs, some an extra innings, 7-7, no one ever win. Propeller hacks, emotional, actual developments. Patient ember adding a splash of his own accelerant. I'm to the races, sorting through the few of the future favors. It's those of you that let the pooch chew through the computer cables and go food based on the lunar phases. So when override, I'm Snoopy on the roof at night, staring at the canopy like canopy into the light. Or am I needed here at home? A human being supervised, stupefying overseers, zooming on a pupil size. Choose your fighter, them or me, or everyone versus entropy. The only ever undefeated zero artificial intel NPC, or that's the tendency. A bullet train of randomness that started out successfully and ended at abandoned ship. Okay, I'm mostly here to catch the wave somewhere between the Etta James and Psycho Killer Keskase. Check the resume, a monkey ventures into engine bays and total hours ascending at some unrelenting MPH. I break an MLK and terra incognitus with a sidewalk ends and lenses. I am terrifying genius and it smells like something holy. Put an L up for his peoples. Pizza from that one spot. Hello from the zenith. No response so far. Bold of the gods, the color of violet, Beauregard. Dr. No cigar. I hand nothing out to nobodies with no regard. There is not a satellite of any worldly origin that point to a location that's impossibly inordinate. Meanwhile, somewhere that you haven't tried, rumors of a round table breaking up the staff of life. Yeah. Shit is jazzercise.
Pump, 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 pump. However you consider the kid. Mommy sitting rhythmless, watching a vid of a vid. How many pics before the difference between a pit and abyss? I'm in the mix without a logo on the fit of the lid. The mercenary throwing parrying fists, fighting the various nefarious kids that's known for marrying rich. Not of the ilk that's always milking the fib. Mumbling guff, my infrastructure wasn't built on a grid. I'm just taking me a shot in the dark. But if you never taken off to take a walk in the park, I'm more concerned about the take instead of making a mark. And being seen instead of sweet, and not deserving of a seat on the ark. Skedaddle while I channel the source. Skedaddle while I channel the sauce. boss. As a youth, I was always hooping on the main courts. Cats be souped up, but a soup is not our main course. Love, hope, pain, loss. These are just a couple of the issues that I don't force. Technically, couple means two. Guess I mean few. I review. I know you're feeling hollow from following these fools. Get with the Mr. Fix It that don't even need tools. Really wasn't the devil, cats ain't on my level. They are gonna need stools. Enough being cool, I know it's cool, but might be time to drink some gene pools. Abolish and demolish fake and use the real estate to build schools. Somebody gotta make the right moves, set the right moods, life's rules. I got some great news. This time I'm going viral, I just shot some great nudes. I'm so fly, I just ate dehydrated space food. For real, this is Buns of Steel.
Take a break from persecuting idolatry in the countryside with hunting knives as it runs and hides. Cause I wanna try and hold it by the underside. Then jump and dunk a pumpkin pie, stuff a stocking with a thunder thigh. I wanna put things into things, principally in vitro fertilize kings into queens.
That's random.
What you mean, what it means? I just like to write brothers like wings on machines. It's suspicious like Marines on their deans. If they pull out a better than they are, I'll be a ping on the screen. Pong bar on the turntables like a Pyongyang ping pong all-star. Smoking on an all-time bar. Hot box, y'all talking like it's your car. Driving with drivers in the back seat like a golf cart. Man, if y'all start, I'll divide this place like a Walmart. That's low-hanging fruit. All my lines come with old dangling boots. Don't park in a tow spot, and yet I walk around with my heel in a toe box with no socks. With a princess and a Yeti and an old golden robot. A doctor shows with a hole, cause hiking took a toll. I mean a whole lot. The other look like his whole life. It's been fighting fools like Dave Grohl. Got stole on a cold cock with the tongue of a cobra and the soul of a pole pot. Sidebar, really want that old watch that look like gold rocks. Hit me in the comment section with directions if you know a spot. And if they lying, somebody reply to that comment with a no it's not. In regards to flattery, like an open pop, it's a battery with a broken dock. It's not a rolling. Sweating to the oldies.
Okay, that was a surprisingly amazing track. That's going in the A's here for sure. Homeboy Sandman and Lupe Fiasco on the same track. Let's go.
It's the real thing.
Yeah, let me get 2 Chico sticks, Pepto-Bismol, pack of Camel Unfiltered, and give me 2 Mega Millions.
Used to pair cereal and cartoon. I don't know if there's a better way. Now I'm going hungry in the war room. Similar, but it is not the same. When I walk in, be cool. No sudden moves, only coming through the refuel. Be forewarned, my skin reads as steel wool. Hook in with a haymaker on a shopping spree into your gene pool. I might change any all dad's eyes, looking disappointed in the real you. Son, ushering some abominable milieu in that kill off. And they climb it, we put time into mildewing. Till 10's wrong, get defensive, I was weeding through some more highlight reels. Hindsight is like trying to prune the Amazon back to one bonsai tree. When I walk in, be easy. Sign a contract, no eye contact, no eye Tomcat and a free meal seat. No ID, I'm so unwieldy. I'm over the river, I'm into the woods, recruiting the pick of the iffiest wolves who fittingly follow me back to the city to butcher a dinner with hooves. Slow fives, most high, I'm the most slow. Mine the go code, mine the drive with the giant showboat. You might just show to a private toll road, you might pay to attain what you already own. It's part of a trend, it's part of the start of the end, or maybe it's farther along than we ought to pretend. Used to pair cereal and cartoon.
It's like a mixture of the delivery that bus driver can get the gab out. That's crazy.
Hungry in the war room. Similar, but it is not the same. Be cool. Be cool. forewarned, my skin reads as Pete Moss. GTs that spin kick the most harmonious P-pod. That heart rate go adagio to some Art Blakey, they bebop in no time at all. These two palms touching, charging up that fireball. Knees bent, nerves worn, nose bleeding, perfect form. Ears bleeding, eyes bleeding. This ain't just some ordinary parlor trick. It's perfect storm and board up your apartment shit. When I walk in, be low-key, don't trust no one, no mind opponents. Stink eye for these guys smileys. If you love something, you don't like nothing, that's my opinion. Entertainment, go spin the bottle till you kiss the mind bottom. 10,000 hours in a garden with 10 shades till they information battering the senses. Here we see the mamba eating something fatter than its neck is, which is also entertaining. He had to take off the necklace. Maybe everybody's destiny's defending something selfish, yeah. Used to pair cereal and cartoon. I don't know if there's a better way. Now I'm going hungry in the war room. It's similar, but it is not the same. Getting sadder every upper. Classic outdoorsman scratching panic on the cave wall. Strays out front, but plums like baseballs plucked from the arms of the earth. Hellfire at the school. How are you on about some garden dessert? I'm in the cradle of craters, same as your boot in the trench. Defending everything from something, plum juice on my chin. Good at whatever the newest abandoned shoe in his web. They hit that sticky thread I slid into a foot of cement. For every bullet I have caught in my teeth, I earn the privilege of a trip to be in awe at a tree. 100 years in the future, I bet some photo exists of some historic moment happening somewhere close to the crib. Maybe some heavenly zealot yelling and reeled in a piece. And there I am in the back enjoying that seasonal treat. Oblivious and doing my version of smelling a rose. Stupid look on my face, I am never in vogue. I was probably in my head about the essence of hope. Taking a second to effectively connect with the whole. Look, ever since a kid, invisibility important. I've been dipping out the lobby, body painted brick and mortar. Trying to pick up on a pattern in the numbers, like black plums getting fatter every summer. I'm a particle, a minute quantity of matter. The least possible amount of data. I'm a passenger.
Thanks for
a rogue wolf from the course.
No, if that were the case, I'd be winning.
In a field, something dark at the wheel. I'm ultimately a tourist. Panic Invictus, damage all indexed. Granted, there is no real standardized litmus. One man's damage is part of another's rituals. Pick one, hindsight or eyes like pinwheels. Well, acceleration's only half the magic when there's looking like you're doing 60, doing 5 in traffic. The county's slowest roller, half the time I'm going backwards. How I'm always there before you ain't a scientific matter. If you pick a lane, see if you can be the truth. But 30 seconds turn a shortcut to the scenic route. Piece of cake, show me what your Godspeed reads like. Olives by the river under Osprey and obscene like. Black plums getting fatter in the meantime. A being with a different time, sweet time. How we're both beefed up and yet refined. Even hyenas seen reaching for the tree line. Lions turn vegan, carnivores tend to the plants. Vampires make jellies and jams. It's a pillar of a still life, steady the hand. Land the pit a couple inches from your head in the sand. Act 1, wait for the sun. Act 2, same with the water. Act 3 is the summoning of the mother. Out to counter any blood pressure upper one could suffer. Black plums, pie crust, flour, sugar, butter. I'm a particle, a minute quantity of matter.
For nines?
The least possible amount of data. I'm a passenger, a rogue wolf on the course. In a field, something dark at the wheel. I'm ultimately a tourist.
That's a good thing. Back end of it, let's see if there's some more magic left in these tracks. No repeat hands.
Just a little something.
How does this game do this?
one peerless student getting weird in the room, putting the human condition through a series of wretched labors. A Herculean dozen, a plug in your emulator, a faded for home versioners who board up in they TP, treating personal misfortune as sources of Diomedes. Me, I'm up to my neck in the me and lions, the pride of idea eaters, plus weevils and the rice thins. Own worse, snubbing upper management. I'm managing a thin skin, the cover rolls are pangolin. Slang from the valley, a calculated endangerment. Danger conservation is constantly in the way of shit. Came in like a wrecking ball, but really only maintained thanks to the 5-second rule. Vortex staring back from the reflective pool. They trying to separate the Jekyll via centrifuge.
Presto, keeper of the keys, I've been keyed into the tempo. I can see a team leader reaching for the red phone. I can tell you who won't even be at the crescendo. Exo, change-o, they are hailstones ricocheting off the raincoat. I can see a trail guide waiting for the payphone. I can tell you who won't even make it to the late show. Presto, change-o.
Think we got lucky.
Presto,
Okay,
Just
yep,
a
we
little
got
something. Just a little something.
Little fragments of what happens when you plug in after having been unplugged. It feels emphatically disgusting. Little pardon, can I borrow a lighter? Cueing a little flashing back to the apartment on fire. Little surgeries and docu-series murderers and run-ins with the concept of object permanence. Little get the cake, little celebrate, then celebrate again when you give it the hell away. Brain on black smoke, belly on the breed of lamb that couldn't leap the sleepy fence and fell in his arena pan. It's me, you fucking dummies, I forgot the code word. Old dog, dogs continue to eat his homework. What? I seen y'all, job sucks,
Extra
hit
large
glass, no
blind.
rhythm, not tough, whack shoes, shitty tats, stupid life, stupid face, bad hair, sitting duck, dead alive, set the high score and who gives a fuck? I've been several seasons with the cheetahs in the tall grass. To me, it's all an Impala with no bull ass. All that boulder dash, all these talking heads, futzing with the public good, hawking hating spawning eggs. Then they wonder why the kid is swinging from the chandelier. Body painted safety orange, screaming out the champ is here. As if it's not
The
a healthy
champ is
response
here.
to whatever type of zealotry you presently on. Wrong.
Presto, keeper of the keys, I've been keyed into the tempo. I can see a team leader reaching for the red phone. I can tell you who won't even be at the crescendo. Exo, change-o, they are hailstones ricocheting off the raincoat. I can see a trail guide waiting for the payphone. I can tell you who won't even make it to the late show. Presto, change-o.
Pitching for the Pigeon Hill Road, Molly Whoppers in a first to a million, a model for Jolly Roger. It's bad news and casual Clyde hoppers. I hop over cops and robbers and godfathers. Stark white knuckles on the wheel, Jesus never took unless he needed me. Embedded in some lingonberry bush off the 495. Otherwise, I blame it on the fireman. ISIS 50 years of fighting for his pilot light. It doesn't take the keenest of empaths to know you probably feeling irretrievably dead last. A steadfast emptiness, maybe aggressive idling, maybe a forehead to horn engine off entirely. Every oft head rose back multiplied. The secret is you close the cut and cauterize. Eye of the pyromancer, here to ride the realest lightning through the driest diorama like
Presto, keeper of the keys, I've been keyed into the tempo. I can see a team leader reaching for the red phone. I can tell you who won't even be at the crescendo. Exo, change-o, they are hailstones ricocheting off the raincoat. I can see a trail guide waiting for the payphone. I can tell you who won't even make it to the late show. Presto, change-o.
duck in the row, but when I push up for the dock, fish jump in the boat. I'm a guff giving Tuffy in Odyssey Fire Country, where miserables are quick to pull the Crocodile Dundee. I'm comfortable in sneakers and a plain white tee. When I give 2 cents and a pale rider each, I like shave ice on a blanket by the sea, and seeing both riders engaging as wild geese. Parachute pants on a paranoid mask. I'm probably the source of the Polaroid flash. Office walls that overdose on broken math and post-it notes. Plans to build a time machine. Photos of Watteau at home. Holy Roman artifacts. A piece of wood from Noah's boat. Shrapnel from the Mars attack. Coat to Homer's mobile phone.
impossible ticket stubs. Membership at all these fancy cricket clubs. Listen, I ain't even got a single duck in the row, but when I push up for the dock, fish jump in the boat. Know what I mean?
Yeah, one hand, I'm not making this.
I ain't even got a single place to be, but when I walk down the block, straight trailing a V. Know what I mean?
No good joke.
Great horned owl in acrylic on a drum head. Lamb's ear growing by the side door. What next? Occupy every inch of the opera twice at the same. Without a pillar, wires right to the brain. They want his name by the X. I use the X for the name. It's like I'm basically dead. Strangers sending bouquets. I'm alert and oriented, just protective of the method of producing fresh fruits and vegetables in the desert. Good news flow through town like bad news. Left with all the bad dogs and Himalayan yak chews. That guy's on a strange path, but he also had pizzazz and a few amazing tracksuits. True. Rats run back to Nim. I got the wind at my back. I got a cachet of film. I plan to fill the expanse. I plan to catch every hill. I practice radical acceptance, never cracking the kiln. I'm saying I ain't even got a single duck in the row, but when I push up for the dock, fish jump in the boat. Know what I mean? A single sound when I move, but when I make it down the mountain, wolves howl at the moon. Know what I mean? Slime mold, never do as I'm told. E-I-E-I-O. Deep dive into the fried slideshow. Sorry, I don't corner cut. I'm more than just a line of code. So are you, but you prefer illusion of the cut and dry, where I prefer the side effect of several billion butterflies in chorus. To keep a tourist long lens filming whatever in the forest had the dog's head tilting. I'm a simple man a pinhole cam. Skin the info in, skin the sycophant. Short story, once I shook the RZA's hand. Played it cool, but could've yelled, I'm going to Disneyland. Plan for whimsy, it's certainly raining upwards. An advantage for the race to raid the cupboards of others. Take it up with the buzzards, I'm buzzing off to the haunt. If you listen, you can still hear me guffaw with the gong. Yo, I ain't even got a single duck in the row, but when I push up for the dock, fish jump in the boat. Know what I mean?
I would just play this on GP.
I ain't even got a single horse in the race, but when I go to get the car, there's a horse in the way. Know what I mean?
Why? Flagrant.
In '86, I had a hamster named Elizabeth. Got her at the mall with that whole habit trail tube system shit. Cried a month when she escaped captivity all by herself. That winter mother found her behind the dryer, alive and well. Strangely, I recall that over how and when she died.
Like
I
some Super
messaged
Nintendo
my
music.
brother now. He said she left a second time, but like for realsies. Well, shit, if that don't beg a different take. The triumphate, they're coming home. It's in the second prison break. It's interesting what the memory cherry picks and what it pardons. We're nothing if not silver linings stuffed into compartments like some printer's tray, repurposed for shelving your tiny tinctures that each remind you of a specific time you were injured interacting with the living. Those shifting lines of scrimmage always situated just behind some hypnotizing visage. If you're at all susceptible to a finger that beckons from out a curious portal, make sure you're briefed at the entrance. Identify 1,000 different snakes. Turn around, still trust the motherfucker out the gate. The recommended avenue is as he say, not as he do. But as he do, if you annoy yourself with your own ballyhoo as he do, then people be like, wow, you're such a hypocrite. And I'm like, yo, you can't be this completely fucking stupid. I hope you suffer horribly, like I'm not even a violent person, which makes me a double hypocrite. Yo, 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 fashion from the 80s. Mahi, mahi, fresh from the banana leaf. Deliver the man a Lahaina's banyan tree. Rent me a two-seater that boasts an uncommon wheel count. That out-of-town embarrassment barreling through some speed round. Before cars headed, man expressed the sentiment of needing to recklessly drive a car through a weather event.
Out the other side, heaven sent, what a ride. Feathered hair that never relent. Summertime. Smell the roses right outside the den of Lobos. Who could smell the polo fanny pack coated in melted Rolos? The tropers play it cool and act like you're supposed to be there. But I'm not a cool actor, I do not play, I do declare. Next summer, y'all's panels on my fear of abandonment. Get the force of 1,001 unbelievable shenanigans. Friendly hangs, effortlessly peppered with contentious slang and extras. Till you playing 20 questions with interrobangs. What the fuck, how the hell, who are you? Is hope even a factor in the forward you are looking to? I ain't throwing shade, I'm only asking for this final scene. I don't need that energy around me when I'm finding peace. 6'4", 240, gussied up and camera shy. I'm just trying to eat, but all they see is spotted lantern fly. Tantrum with the biggest fucking baby in the candy aisle. I could not have picked a better day to randomize.
Beat 10 out of 10. It's hard to take this. That is a solid conclusion track. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna rate that entire album a 7. I have virtually no complaints. Like, there wasn't a strong direction that I could hear coming off of the album most of the way through. But the few tracks that were there, like, I could see it was a lot of throwbacks and things. It was like a lot of reminiscence. But in the end, it still felt like going into a bodega completely stoned and not really knowing what you're shopping for. But I was vibing with it. It had some really great production on a lot of tracks. So I'll probably be going over it a few more times and I'll get a better breakdown. Maybe go over some of the lyric sheets and see what's good. But one last track before I end all this. Let's go with this one.
Scarecrow in the fair watching the spectacle. It's still no dessert till you finish your vegetables. Circumspect, resurrect him in the vestibule of the building where they killed him. I'm true and living. Fuck what they telling me. Hungry eyes in the mirror like Corinthians. Uncanny Valley AI hit him with the heads, he screaming, carry, my vision swims. Girlfriend, whenever you're around, your light dims. 2 cents. If it's on sight, say less. Where I see it, it ain't no past tense. Little kid, tiny desk, itty bitty violins, big head, blue lips. If you never came back from the dead, can't tell me shit. 12 billion USD hovering over the Gaza Strip. You don't want to know what it costs to live, what it costs to hide behind eyelids. When your back turned, secret cannibals lick their lips, fingernails sharp. I snatch the lights out of cats so I can see in the dark, so I can see who you are. Pig in the rat, he put them both in the ark with the wink and the laugh. Stop for gas in the desert like the house of Sard. Sky hung with a crescent, a veil of stars. Pick up weaving through dead cars, surface to air, camouflage in the truck bed. On guard, best believe them crackers won't make it to Mars. Mars, 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 Mars.
I ain't never asked to be here, so So when I decide to leave, all them devils in the details rush to either side of me. Where we going all depends what I pretended I believe. When I finally meet my maker, I have something up my sleeve. And I find out if the God above me bleed the same as me. Cause I'm tired of calling out for him and falling on my knees. And I'm never coming back from that, so don't wait up for me. You ain't gotta leave a light on, you ain't gotta hide a key. Well, I ain't been myself lately, least I ain't been under you. Who wasted all the time you had talking about what you about to do? When you finally knock on heaven's door, they ain't expecting you. And if you don't get the fuck off the stoop right now, they gonna shoot. Same old song, I sing it one more time. On the day you're gone, and nobody gon' cry for you. Take what's yours, and I make it all mine. Till the money's so long, like it's saying bye-bye to you. Clip them wings, change the way time flies for you. 9 lifetimes, cast turn blind eyes to you. Won't ride, die, drive by, or lie for you. Ain't nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for you. They ain't get far without an arm and a leg. And then the beast below the street showed up and told them they dead. They need to meet me like they need a fucking hole in the head. And if you leave it up to me, that be what all of them get. Fuck what they telling you.
看出了画中全是躲着 daggers in their lofts， 笑中全是刀，而其中的牙齿 white and glistening， 全是白丽丽的牌照。They're all cannibals， 这就是吃人的家伙。
So, on the last note, we are looking at a world where our current president is considering giving Diddy a pardon. So, where we've seen pardons go out to the Chrisleys, we've seen pardons go out for former gang leaders. Now we are musing over whether or not Diddy should get a pardon. And as I saw 2 other streamers talk about it, they asked each other, who would you rather see a pardon? Diddy or R. Kelly? And they quickly came to the answer of R. Kelly. If this individual in most people's heads is worse than R. Kelly, we are on some very stupid ground. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and raid out into Parallax. And it's been a blast, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. That was a great listen. And hope you come back and chill again soon. It has been fun. Also, I'll take any suggestions for anything I should be watching for future chill sessions. It's always completely up to chat. So let's go. Peace, y'all.